Good morning, children. Today, let us have some revision of certain numericals and some problems. Some questions from the pre-board exam, which was conducted very recently. Okay, this is one numerical problem from current electricity. It is a very simple problem. It is asked for 1 mark. At room temperature 27 degrees Celsius, the resistance of a heating element is 100 ohm. The resistance of a heating element at room temperature 27 degrees Celsius is 100 ohm. What will be the temperature of the element if the resistance is found to be 117 ohm, provided the temperature coefficient of resistor is 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 4 per degree Celsius. Look at this. First, list the things that are given. Initial resistance. Okay, initial temperature. Let us take it as T naught, 27 degrees Celsius. Room temperature. Corresponding resistance, I'll write it as initial resistance. R naught is equal to 100 ohm. Now temperature coefficient of resistance is given. Alpha, it is denoted by alpha. 1.7 into 10 to the power of minus 4 per degree Celsius. What is the temperature? Let us take final temperature T1. What is final temperature T1? For which final resistance R1 becomes equal to 117 ohm. And since it is a metal, it has a positive temperature coefficient. The resistance is increased from 100 to 117 ohm. So definitely you have to think that the temperature should also increase. This is common logic, common sense. So write the equation. We know that RT, here in this case it is R1. RT is equal to R naught into brackets 1 plus alpha into delta T, where delta T is temperature difference. You are asked to find out what is that final temperature, right? So this can be written as R1 by R naught is equal to 1 plus alpha into delta T. I will write it as T2 minus T1. In this case it is T1 minus T naught. T1 minus T naught. T naught is given, you are asked to find out T1, that's it. Okay, and here R1 is given and R1 is given. Problem is very simple. So this implies R1 by R naught minus 1 is equal to alpha into T2 minus T1 minus T naught. Simplify this. This implies R1 minus R naught divided by R naught. Take this alpha to the left hand side. It becomes R naught alpha. It is equal to T1 minus T naught. Just substitute the values. R1 is 170. R0 is 100 divided by R0 is again 100 into alpha 1.7 into 10 raised to minus 4. This is equal to T1. T1 we want to find out. Write it as this T1 minus 27 degrees Celsius. It is given. Room temperature R naught equal to 27 degrees Celsius. Now numerator becomes 17. 17 divided by 1.7 is there. So I will write it as, therefore 17, and take this 10 to the power minus 4 to the numerator. It becomes 10 raised to 4 divided by 1.7 is there. If you cancel 1 0 with this decimal, it becomes 17. 17 into 10. 1 0 is cancelled. So 17 ones are 17 ones are. So that becomes equal to T1 minus 27. So this becomes, you can see here, 1 0 cancels here. So 1 into 10 raised to 3, that is 1000. Therefore, 1000 equal to T1 minus 27. This is the final step. So finally, we get, therefore, T1 is equal to final temperature 1000 plus 27, 1027 degrees Celsius. This is the answer. So when the temperature is increased from room temperature 27 degrees Celsius to 1027 degrees Celsius, so temperature difference is 1000 degrees. See, this is the temperature difference. When it is increased to 1000 degree difference in temperature, 1000 degrees Celsius, then the resistance becomes 100 to 117 ohm. Okay, this is a simple problem. Based on this, platinum wire thermistor is being developed. So platinum wire thermistor is a thermally sensitive resistor whose temperature depends on the resistance, or whose resistivity depends on the temperature. As temperature rises, the resistance increases. As temperature decreases, the resistance decreases. Okay, so this is a simple problem. You have to be careful while solving the problem. You have to see that when there is an increase in resistance, you must think that there must be increase in temperature. Then you will not go wrong. Now see the second problem. The second problem is from the AC circuits, alternating current circuits. Okay. In an LR circuit, inductance and resistance circuit, the reactance and resistance are equal. By how much phase the voltage differ from the current? Means you are asked to find out the phase difference. We have learnt LCR circuit, inductor, capacitor and resistor circuit connected in series, LCR series circuit. Okay. In that LCR series circuit, we have got the equation for impedance and we have got equation for the phase. We have impedance. Impedance, just for your information, no need to write all these things, just for revision. Impedance of LCR circuit is Z is equal to square root of R square minus R square plus XC minus XL whole square, where you have got inductor, capacitor as well as resistor connected in series. But in this problem only two are there, L and R. So there is no question of capacitor. So XC will not be there. Therefore, for LR circuit, Z becomes equal to square root of R square plus XL square, where XL represents inductive reactance, XC represents capacitive reactance, and R is resistance. Now, quickly you should remember the impedance diagram. Impedance diagram, it's a right angle triangle. The opposite side is XC minus XL and the base is r and the hypotenuse is z. So that you can see here z square, if you apply the Pythagoras theorem, z square is equal to r square plus xc minus xl whole square. R square, sum of the squares of the sides, square of the yes, this is the Pythagoras theorem. Z square is equal to r square plus xc minus xl whole square. Now when there is no xc, then you will get r square plus xl square, r square plus xl square. Now this angle between the impedance and the resistance is phase angle phi. So from this, tan phi is equal to xc minus xl by r. But since there is no capacitive reactance, so you get xl by r. So from the problem, we can write directly for an LR circuit, the phase relation is given by tan phi is equal to xl by r. This is for LR circuit, LR AC circuit. Now, in the problem, resistance and reactance are equal. Here, xl is equal to r. So this implies tan phi is equal to 1. xl is equal to xr. xl is equal to r implies that xl by r is equal to 1. Therefore, phi is equal to tan inverse of 1. Tan inverse of 1 implies 45 degree. That is pi by 4. Therefore, the phase difference between voltage and current is pi by 4. Therefore, phase difference between voltage and current in this given problem, phi is equal to pi by 4. So problem is simple. So you must remember this impedance diagram. So this will help you to write the equation for impedance as well as to write the equation for tan phi. Tan phi is equal to opposite by base. Square of the hypotenuse is equal to square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. Z square is equal to r square plus xc minus xl square. This is the standard equation, standard impedance diagram for an LCR circuit. Since it is only LR circuit, you will have only inductive reactance and resistance. There is no question of capacitive reactance. Therefore, Xc is taken to be 0. So when you substitute, we get Z is equal to r square plus x square under square root. So tan phi is equal to xl by r. When there is no Xc, we get xl by r. Therefore, the phase relation between voltage and current becomes tan inverse of 1, that is pi by 4. Okay. Let us see some more simple problems. This is the problem on a parallel plate capacitor. This carries 3 marks. Okay, a parallel plate capacitor is charged to a potential difference of V. It is charged through a potential V by a source of EMF E. Okay. After removing the source, the separation between the plates is doubled. Now the capacitor is fully charged by potential V, and after charging, the separation distance between the plates is doubled. How will the following change? 1. The electric field. Second one, potential difference. Third one, capacitance of the capacitor. Initially, when it is charged, let us say the distance between the plates of the parallel plate capacitors is D, right? And say it is having positive charge density and this is having negative charge density, okay, plus sigma, and this one minus sigma, or the charge is plus q and minus q. Total charge you can say plus q and minus q. Now first one is what happens to electric field when the separation distance between the two is doubled. Now if it is 2d, if it is made 2d, what happens to potential difference, what happens to electric field, what happens to capacitance of the capacitor? Okay, the charge density remains the same, plus q minus q remains the same, that is charge density plus sigma minus sigma remains the same, it is not changed. Okay, only the distance of separation between the plates is double. What happens to electric field? The electric field is unaffected. Electric field E between the parallel plate capacitors, parallel plates of the capacitor is given by sigma upon epsilon naught. So you can look at this problem, this equation. When you look at this equation, it depends on the charge density. The charge density is same since Q is unchanged. Therefore, sigma is also constant, and the medium is also not changed. Epsilon naught corresponds to permittivity of free space. Let us assume that it is having free space, vacuum, and medium is also not changed according to the problem. So electric field depends on charge density and it depends inversely on the permittivity of free space or permittivity of the medium. So both are not changed, therefore electric field remains same. Therefore electric field E remains same since Q is constant, Q is same, and medium is also same. So electric field is not changed. Now look at the second one. Potential difference, voltage, or we can call it as potential difference. Potential difference V is equal to E into D, where D is the distance of separation between the parallel plates of the capacitor, or we also know that E is equal to V by D. So E remains constant as D is doubled, so potential difference should also double. You can see from this problem, from this equation, when D is doubled, that implies V dash becomes E into 2D, because electric field is constant. So when V becomes V dash, potential difference becomes 2 times V. Therefore potential doubles, or voltage increases by 2 times. Potential doubles or potential difference doubles, or voltage becomes 2 times. So this is second problem. What happens to capacitor? Capacitance of the capacitor is equal to Q by V, ratio of the charge to the potential difference, gives us the capacitance of the capacitor. So Q remains constant here, Q is constant, Q is not changing, only potential difference is becoming 2V. and potential difference V dash is equal to 2V. Therefore, capacitance Q upon V dash, C dash becomes Q upon V dash. This implies Q upon 2V. Q upon 2V, just substitute this 2V. So therefore it becomes C by 2. So capacitance is Hall. Capacitance is Hall. In this way we need to solve the problem. So thorough knowledge of these equations is required to solve such problems. It's a very simple problem. Carries 3 marks. Okay. Now let us solve one more problem. Let us solve a problem on ray optics. Look at this. Calculate the distance of an object of height h from a concave mirror of radius of curvature 20 cm. There is a concave mirror of radius of curvature 20 cm. Okay. R is equal to minus 20 cm, because for a concave mirror the focal length as well as radius of curvature they are negative because they are towards the left side. So this CP, center of curvature to the pole, is called radius of curvature. Now second thing is, so as to obtain a real image of magnification 2, calculate the distance of an object distance from a concave mirror of radius of curvature 20 cm, so as to obtain a real image of magnification 2. So magnification is given. Here it is minus 2. For a real image from the concave mirror, magnification is always negative. Okay. Find the location of the image also. You are asked to find out what is object distance and what is image distance, both. So first of all, let us find out what is the focal length. R is equal to minus 20 cm, implies F is equal to R by 2, half of the radius of curvature. So it becomes minus 20 by 2, that becomes minus 10 cm. So we got focal length. Then magnification is minus 2. For real image, M is negative. M is equal to minus V by U. You must be very particular about this sign convention. If it is plus V by U, then it forms virtual image. When it is real image, it is minus V by U. M is given, right? So M is minus 2. Here, M is minus 2. Therefore, minus 2 is equal to minus V by U. So this implies V is equal to minus cancels, V is equal to 2U. Therefore, image distance is twice the object distance, that is obtained from this equation. Okay, call this one as 1 and this one as 2. Now we can make use of mirror formula. We have mirror formula. One by F is equal to 1 by V plus 1 by U. Just substitute the value of V here. V is equal to 2 times U and substitute the value of F. You will get the result. F is minus 10 cm. Therefore, minus 1 by 10 is equal to minus 1 by 10 is equal to 1 by V is equal to 2U plus, you take it U as it is, 1 by U. You need not take any sign convention here because we are not given any values of object distance as well as neither object distance nor image distance. So we have to take as it is v and u. Now we can calculate what is the value of u. From that u we can calculate image distance. So if we simplify this, it becomes, you can see here, 1 by u. If you take out 1 by u common, it becomes 1 plus half. 1 plus half is 3 by 2. So therefore it becomes 3 by 2 u. So 3 by 2 u, you can see here, 2 ones are 2 5s are. Therefore u becomes equal to minus 5 into 3. That's equal to minus 15 centimeter. So u becomes minus 15 centimeter, because you see 3 by 2 u is equal to minus 1 by 10. 2 ones are 2 5s are. Therefore u becomes equal to 5 into 3. So that is minus 5. Minus 5 into 3 becomes 15. Therefore directly we get object distance is equal to 15 centimeter. So if it is 20 centimeter here, object distance will be somewhere here. U is equal to minus 15 centimeter. Beyond the focal length. Beyond the focal length. And what is image distance? Therefore V equal to 2u. 2 times minus 15. It becomes minus 30. So image distance V becomes minus 30. Somewhere here you are going to get image. Here you are going to get image. And if it is of height h, this will be of height 2h. That's it. H dash becomes 2h because magnification is 2. Therefore, image distance V becomes equal to minus 30 centimeter. And since object and image are formed on the same side, therefore it is definitely a real image with magnification 2 times. So this is how you need to solve. So it is a tricky problem. It may carry hardly 1 mark or 1.5 mark, at the most 2 marks. It carries at the most 2 marks. You must be very careful while solving such problems, and sign convention should be always remembered. Okay. One more related problem is that for a convex mirror, here it is concave mirror. For a convex mirror, the image is always virtual. Why is for a convex mirror, image is formed always virtual? How do you answer this question? It is just 1 mark question. So you have to take the help of mirror form. 1 by v equal to 1 by f equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u. Mirror formula. From this mirror formula, you see, for a convex mirror, focal length is positive. Right? For a convex mirror, this is concave. For a convex mirror, focal length is always positive. F is always positive. But according to the sign convention, object distance is always negative. F should be always positive. Object distance should be always negative. This is possible if and only if the image distance is positive. Image distance is positive. I think you got the logic here. You got the point here. Here, for a convex mirror, focal length is always positive because focal length is towards the right side. Focal length is always greater than 0. That is positive. And object distance in front of the concave mirror is always negative. Should be always negative. U is negative, F is positive. U is negative, F is positive if and only if V is positive. V is positive. Therefore, when the image distance is positive, this implies the image is formed behind the mirror, and the image formed behind the mirror can't be obtained on the screen. Therefore, it is always virtual image, and it is always diminished in size. Magnification is always less, diminished in size. Okay, and since it is a virtual image, magnification is always positive. Okay, I think you got the point. Thank you. Have a nice day.